Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Lifestyle Manifesting, and I'm Shannon. So I want to talk today. I'm going to start this live talking about mental diet. So your mental diet is the thoughts that you're consistently thinking, right? Mental diet is the same as your inner conversations, your inner thoughts, inner ideas, inner world. Okay, so when it comes to your mental diet, you want to make sure you're sticking to the desire, becoming aware of what are those thoughts that you're thinking throughout the day. So if we are saying affirmations for the desire we want, but then half the day we're tearing ourselves down or saying negative things about other people, we're not aligned with the desire. So it's practicing having your mental diet and your inner thoughts and conversations align and support the desire that you want. So you have to practice that. You really have to practice what are you thinking about, becoming more aware, being like observing, right? You're an observer. Become the observer of your thoughts, and you become the observer of your thoughts and notice, are you saying any limiting beliefs to yourself? Maybe you're trying to manifest more money and you're saying affirmations, money comes to me easily and effortlessly, but yet you're stressing. Part of the mental diet is just even our daily thoughts. If we're stressing about the money, we're not coming from the place of aligning with our desire. So you can affirm in the morning and affirm at night, but you want to, or whatever, if it's once a day or a few times a day, there's no exact way to do this. It's like you're affirming when it feels good for you, right? So you want to make sure that the mental diet, the thoughts, the inner thoughts and conversations align with that. So if you need to pay bills that you don't have money for, then you have to kind of just tweak and switch your thoughts to, okay, I know I'm the creator of my reality, and I know that I'm powerful, and I know money will come to me. I know somehow, some way that I will get this bill paid. I know somehow, some way the money is coming to me. With an SP, it's the same thing. Affirming morning and night. I'm just going to give the example of morning and night because people do get on that routine of like, let me do it when I wake up in the morning, when I'm feeling relaxed, or when I go to bed before I fall asleep. Or maybe while you're in that theta brainwave where it can kind of imprint, as we already believe that imprints on your subconscious mind. But throughout the day, are you saying all the negative things or the opposing thoughts and doubts and stories, or are you thinking somehow, some way, I know this is showing up. I know this is going to be materialized in my world because I have been practicing focusing on my desire. So it's practicing that mental diet or practicing your inner thoughts and conversations and observing and becoming aware of that. So you don't have to lie to yourself throughout the day because you're going to look at reality a little bit differently, that you know it's coming from you, and you just have to, you acknowledge that and say, I know this is all coming from me, everything I'm currently experiencing, my old limiting beliefs and ideas, things that I didn't even know I was creating. But now I know I'm a conscious creator. I'm going to focus on the story that tells me that the money's coming, that tells me the person's coming, or whatever object or whatever feeling, that you're receiving, that you have that. Okay, so practice observing and being aware of your thoughts, and you will start to recognize where you have limiting beliefs, doubts or fears, and when those pop up, you can recognize those and change them into a thought or idea that would support your desire. So something that would support your desire would be, I know I'm creating, and this is happening. It's happening now. I'm affirming for my desire, and I get everything I want. Okay? You can tell yourself, I don't know how this is going to happen because it felt impossible, but I'm on the route, or I'm on the path, and I know I'm figuring this out, and I know I can do this, and I can figure this out. So it's kind of like looking from the perspective of the solution, right? that you can figure it out. You're not going to focus on the problem. You're not going to focus on, I don't have money, or I don't have this person, I don't have this thing, I don't have the job. You're going to focus on, I am, how are you going to get that? You're going to get that because your focus and attention and your story and narrative will align you, or you'll be in that version of, select that version of reality by focusing on it, okay? So it's like you practicing being aware so you can catch yourself, so you can figure it out yourself. And then focusing on the solution versus the problem. The problem would be, I don't have it, it's not here, I don't like this. But the solution would be, I don't know how, but this is happening. I don't know how, but I'm going to make it happen because I'm that powerful and I can create. I'm here as a creator. Then I'll go ahead and answer some questions. All right. Travel 407, how to continue when SP is showing up, but not how you want them. All right. Remind yourself you're the operant power, right? Do you know what that means? The operant power is that you have full control, or I don't know if I want to use the word control, but you have the full creative power to create, to have, do, and be anything you want. And it's coming from you. So recognize that or acknowledge that you are that powerful. Because as you acknowledge that ability that you have, this creative ability, you'll feel more confident and you'll have more faith knowing that you're creating everything, right? So if they're not showing up how you want, what's happening sometimes is we keep seeing how they're showing up and we're reacting to that. Maybe it's not like a big reaction, but it's a reaction enough where you're like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, they're like, they're calling me one day, then I don't hear from them, and now I don't even know if they're off the grid. And okay, so how are you feeling when you're thinking those things? You're kind of feeling like, I don't have this, I don't like this, I'm not in control. What you can do is, when that unwanted thing, they're falling off the grid, you haven't heard from them, you have to go into your imagination and say, or go within yourself and say, I created this. It's still some old thoughts. I know I can create or select, right? You're not really creating, but I use the word create. You're selecting the version of that person showing up for you. So get more determined in your mind, like, no, they're going to be showing up this way. They're going to show up with consistency. They're going to show up being completely supportive, completely making me a priority. And you affirm that story, even in the face of them coming in and telling you the opposite. You just, like in the 3D, of course you can, you live in the 3D, but you know that your imagination is what's creating, right? So as you persist in those thoughts of, they are consistent, they are reaching out to me more, they are a better communicator, they are treating me as a priority, and you just continue to persist in that thought and that narrative in your mind, and that will manifest. He hasn't answered me in days yet. He's uploading on social media. He knows I can see he's uploading. Okay, so here's the thing. When you know so you're like, here's what your thoughts might be. Maybe a little different, but here's how thoughts can, all of a sudden you're like, wait, he hasn't answered me in days. Wait a minute, he's uploading on social media. He knows that I can see that, and he's not doing that. Why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he, so don't go there. You have to get yourself in check and say, wait, he hasn't answered me in days. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. That just means I need to affirm he is responding to me. He's responding to me very quickly because he loves responding to me, okay? You can't, when you spend time focusing on all these things you don't want, you have to recognize it right away. It's kind of a practice because we're not used to creating our life. We're not used to really thinking of life that way. So it seems a little, I don't know if I want to use the word awkward, but it doesn't feel like your typical, like how you typically experienced life, right? It'll feel like in the beginning, like there's a little bit of turnover, and then all of a sudden, like everything will be going in your direction, okay? So it's like you're just going over a little hump right now, but you're gonna get it more solid that this person's showing up for you, that they are responding for you, and you'll see that that's totally solid, and you'll see that your life will just feel like it's getting better and better. And now you've got control of like the reins of the wild horse. You've got control of that. It's just a matter of getting control right now. Once you have control, now you're just going to keep thinking bigger. And now, or whatever, maybe if that doesn't resonate with you, but now you're going to think, hey, I can do that. What else do I want to do? My dog wants a little treat here. Okay, baby. So, so you have to kind of calm down, get yourself calm, and say, you know what? I'm going to be calm, cool, collected. Maybe make that a phrase. Right in this moment, how can I be calm, cool, collected? I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected. I'm going to think about the story that I want, okay? I'm going to affirm the story that I want, and I'm going to see myself as someone that's part of your self-concept, is seeing yourself as someone who's so powerful. You have this creative power within you. You are so good at manifesting. You are so good at deliberately creating and bringing things into your life that you want. This whole world is for you. Look at it that way. Look at the whole world as it is there for you, for your enjoyment, for your experience. Claim back your power and energy and put it into yourself. They always come back. Absolutely. Absolutely. So self-concept. Claim your power. Claim it, command it, demand it. You can get into that state of like someone who just commands and demands. There are people that just, you command that, you demand that, you just get what you want. Okay, so it's coming into self and seeing your power. Okay, trust yourself. I've been watching your videos daily for the past month or so. I just got a 25% raise today. Woohoo! Congratulations. That's amazing. I love that. So all of you can do that. Now what? Now what? Doesn't that make you excited? You're like, yes, I got this. Now what? Or you don't have to think now what. You're like, I'm riding the wave. This feels good. And desires will continue to pop up, obviously, the rest of your life, because that's part of our how we're growing and evolving is through having a desire. So the desire of the specific person is truly helping you grow and evolve as a person, as who you are. But as also with all the money and jobs and everything. So I'm so excited for you. That's so amazing. Yes. Okay, so you were changing the thoughts in the moment. That was changing everything. Amazing. I love it. Yeah, I know it's hard to say, like, it's hard when you see that someone doesn't care for you and you see that. I know, I've been there. I'm sure most of us have been there, right? When it feels like rejected, it feels like we're not chosen, it feels, okay, so you're so powerful, you can change it right now. Focus on the self-concept and how powerful you are, okay? Practice everyone as yourself pushed out with other people. The more you practice seeing that people reflect back to you your own beliefs and thoughts of who they are, who you think they are, the more you practice that and it reflects back to you, you will feel more confident. You will feel more empowered. You'll be like, yeah, this is working. So how do you do that? You affirm things. You could, there's a lot of different ways to it, but you can write down manifestations, what people would say to you, or notice that whatever affirmations you're saying to yourself, you'll start to recognize other people will mirror that affirmation back to you in some way. Okay, you're unsure of how to go forward. Your SP is treating you badly, and I feel like I'm being used. Okay, you don't know what action to take, whether to keep meeting up and change this dynamic. Without knowing the full situation, I can only just help guide you a little. Again, I do have email coaching or one-on-one coaching if anyone wanted to dive deeper into their own situation, or you figure out what your block or doubts are, within you. Sometimes you can catch it yourself, but other people can absolutely catch those for you too. So when he's treating you badly, you have to get more firm on your boundaries. And you can get firm on your boundaries in the 3D reality and just say, you know what, I'm not putting up with this. But then affirm in your mind. Also affirm, also in addition, you're going to affirm in your mind, like, these are my boundaries. Okay, tell this person, hey, I have boundaries, and I'm just done. I'm not accepting that in my world anymore. You just like put your foot down. And then you affirm what you want. You can affirm, you know what, they're showing up, apologizing. They're showing up a new version, a better person. They're showing up, supporting me and really caring for me. So, however, what resonates with you with that, you could work on your own self-concept. Don't reach out to them whatsoever. Keep your boundary of like, a boundary could be something like this. You decide, I'm only letting in people who respect me, who treat me with, like, as a priority. Like, you can intend that everybody's treating you like a priority, that they truly care for you. And so respect your boundaries, and you're creating that boundary, and just decide, like, you know what, I'm not going to reach out to you, or don't reach out to them, and let them show up to the boundaries that you set, to your standards. Decide, I've raised my standards and I'm not putting up with this version, and I'm not even going to entertain any version until the new version shows up. And then in the meantime, you don't reach out to them. You go within, you work on your story, the self-concept within, whatever you need to address, like whatever you feel like would resonate to get you to the place where you're the new version of you. You're the new version in that relationship. And see that only somebody with these standards comes into your reality, and that person will be that new version. When you stick to that, don't worry that you think you're going to lose them. You won't, because you're doing all the work within, and you're going to bring them in. You don't want to keep bringing them in down here, like low standards, no respect of boundaries. You decide on setting your standards way up here. Sorry, way up here. Not even here. It's way up here. Okay, just set your standards in your mind. Okay, make a little exercise. Write out, what are my standards? If you don't even know, start researching online. What are good standards? What should someone have as a standard in their life for a relationship? I mean, you're going to know most of them, like how you want to be treated, how do you expect to be treated? Those are the questions you ask yourself. How do I expect to be treated? Respected, with care, with love, as a priority, important. Okay, and then those would be affirmations that you would affirm. I am important. I am appreciated. I am respected. And then you can add on, and others respect me. And you can be specific about your specific person, and they respect me. Okay? Any person in a relationship with me, you could just keep it open, right? Any person in a relationship with me respects me. Any person in a relationship with me appreciates me. Any person in a relationship with me loves me, cares for me, treats me like a priority. So you spend time doing that. Okay? You can still affirm for your SP, but like I said, I can't really understand exactly without talking to you, but that absolutely can help you. You can do it. That can happen overnight, tonight. They can have a realization, you know what? They'll see you set your standards and they'll say, oh my God, they're having the realization. You create that, right? They can have a realization, epiphany tonight. Wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I have not been treating you very well, and I want to see you. I want to talk to you. So think of that. Can you contemplate those stories in your mind versus I hate when they do this. I hate when they, oh my God, he did it again, or she did it again, and I can't stand it. Okay, so do you see that would be when you are thinking of those stories in your own, if you're entertaining those ideas and thoughts of what you hate, what you don't like, you keep bringing it into your world. You keep bringing it into your reality. You're not really bringing it into your reality. It's coming from you. It's coming from you. Sorry, it's not you bringing it into your reality. It reflects in your reality is probably a better way to say it. It's coming from you because you have a feeling, an emotion together with that not liking something. Okay? You deserve it. Just, tell yourself, I deserve to be treated. I'm trying to think of the word, like a word, the best words, like to be treated on a pedestal, to be treated like a goddess, to be treated like a queen. I wish I had learned all of this sooner. Oh, it's okay. Guess what? I didn't learn it until in my 40s, and I'm sure most of you are a lot younger. And even if you're not, okay, so here we are. Are we gonna, we could say it, I say it laughingly, I wish I'd learned this sooner. And I probably joke about how lucky my kids are, right? And anyway, but it's okay because all my negative assumptions played out, and it brought me to this place. It brought me this place of like, I'm just in a really good place. Like, I think, are you feeling like you're getting in a better place? And just know that the negative assumptions, they all played out. Maybe that's part of your life purpose, all of ours, right? To have this experience of waking up and understanding how much power we had. So it's okay, because what's powerful is you can change it right now. Don't worry about what's already played out. Don't worry what's already manifested and what's your world. Start spending more time creating. Creating means using your creative imagination to think of all the experiences you want to have in this life. Like angel numbers, they don't mean anything. You can read Google what somebody decided they mean. Is it true? Well, it will become true if you believe that. If you believe what you read, and then you're like, oh, that's what that means. But I could realize right away that that's not true. I gave it my own meaning, and then it just reflects back to me. So if I see angel numbers, I just make it mean I'm on the right path. My life is getting better. I just kind of like put like three affirmations basically that it means. Like, my life's getting better. I'm in the right place at the right time. This life's amazing. Only good things are coming to me. So that's what I make it mean. I'm getting all my manifestations. That's a lot of times I'll say that. If I see, because I rarely see like 555, but if I do, I go, ooh, that means I'm getting, it's just more, not that I'm not looking for something. I defined something that made me laugh, that made me kind of, like laugh and feel like lighthearted about it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of fun to think about. So you just create the meaning behind that. We can determine what our life is. So I'm going to say I resonate with, I think my life's fabulous. So I do affirm probably several times a day. I know today I affirmed, I have such a great life, okay? In my perspective of where I'm at in life, I feel like I have a really great life. So how did I create that? Well, I created that I just feel whole and complete within. And I feel like as I just walk through life, everything I need just comes to me, right? I was just thinking about this, like when I was in Portugal. I just have evidence after evidence that whenever I have a need for something, it just appears. So like when I forgot my charger when I went to Portugal, the wall charger adapter. And when I went to the hotel reception, he's like, oh, those are really expensive and it's going to be hard to find one. I was kind of a little bit in a like area that was sort of touristy. There weren't like stores where I would find that. And he's like, but I have one for you. I have an extra one and you can have it. So like you can create those circumstances in your life. Just, affirm things like, hey, as the need arises, I just get what I need. And I don't have to think so deliberately about what I need. I just know as that need arises and I need something, it just comes to me. I've just got it. Like this my God self, my universe within me has my back. So everything's always working out. I feel like I'm finding myself doubting my thoughts have this power. Tips for getting over this. Okay. You have to prove to yourself. I mean, you can't just listen to me and believe it. Like, you're here and it's resonating with you for a reason. Maybe because of the desire you want. You have a strong desire to get your, manifestation, right? And because of that, we're like listening to it and we're like, I believe this is possible because I want this so bad, right? Or it doesn't have to be so anxious about it, but like, I want this bad. I want this in my life. So you need to prove it to yourself. You have to prove to yourself that you can do daily manifestations. Like every day, write down 5 things that you want to manifest. Just start writing them down. Don't even think too much about it. Just say like, I want to manifest that someone opens a door for me. I want to manifest, because sometimes there aren't even a lot of doors. Everywhere you go, it's like automatic door. So you will find all these circumstances where people open doors for you. And that will reflect back to you. Like that they're literally like holding the door. I've had that happen so many times because I was affirming that a while. So, write things down like that. Like someone tells me my smile is magnetic. Okay. Even if you're wearing a mask, that's okay, because someone will reflect back to you. Not just that you have a nice smile, but be more specific that it's you. So what you would do is affirm, I intend someone's telling me I have a magnetic smile. Or you just write that down, right? You can affirm it or you can write it down, or maybe you want to affirm it a couple of times in the day, just, to get it kind of more like sinking in. And then you'll see that reflected back to you. You can manifest different things like seeing someone in a costume, seeing a turtle, seeing like things that you maybe won't see on a daily basis. And that's going to prove, then you'll keep seeing all the things that you wrote down. You'll write these down, and then maybe you won't see it tomorrow. Maybe it'll be like 3 days. Maybe it'll be 5 days. Maybe it'll be the next day. Okay, but you will start remembering what you wrote down and how this reflects back to you. And you'll be like, oh my God, that, and then that. And don't just make it obvious, regular, everyday things. Like come up with something a little more unique that really shows and proves to you. And that's how you're going to have more confidence, and also that like faith that you're the operant power, or that your thoughts, have this power, that our awareness is infinite. Okay, it lives forever. Our awareness, which is our imagination. So I'm excited for you to test that out. And it could even be that somebody buys you a cup of coffee, that someone brings you flowers. Like I wrote things down in the beginning, like I get free tickets to concerts, but I affirmed that a lot. And the radio station called me 3 months in a row, like pre-COVID, right? I never had the radio station call me ever. And then 3 months in a row, because I had affirmed it, the radio station called me and I won tickets, right? To like House of Blues and some other concert places in the city. And I'm in Chicago. So, and then not only did I win concert tickets, I started dating somebody. I was dating at the time. One guy I went out with took me to a concert. A different guy I dated took me out to a concert. A friend of mine said I have concert tickets. You want to go? So all of a sudden, everyone was inviting me to a concert. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I had no resistance. I just decided I wanted to have more fun in my life. And I wanted to do, I was newly divorced at the time, and I just wanted to do fun things and get out. Okay, so go do that, prove to yourself, and go have fun. Make it fun. Just make it kind of like a scavenger hunt. Like this life is like a scavenger hunt. What's going to come next? Okay. Hi, is it Hug? Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce your username, but when you detach from the outcome but still continue to manifest your SP, it's actually very liberating. Absolutely. Absolutely. So detaching from the outcome is like just deciding, I've got this. I don't need to worry about it. You just go on with your day. You don't have to think about it all day. You don't have to affirm it all day. You just decided you know it, right? When you're booking your, let's say you're booking a trip 2 months from now and you book your flight, you're not worried about that outcome. You booked it. You know it's happening. It's booked. The plane's going out, right? I know that's an exact time, but it's the same idea. Is like, it's already done, okay? And the more that you can just feel relaxed and not nervous and worried about it, the faster and easier it's going to come. Okay. I mean, you could still we're still manifesting things in our life, even when we're nervous, the good things. Okay. So don't get worried about that. Okay. If I can visualize it, will that manifest it? Yeah, I mean, you can also visualize. That was your question before about. So visualizing, like let's say, I'm not sure, let's say you want to visualize someone giving you $100. Before you go to bed, just lie in your bed and think about, oh my God, what would you spend that $100 on? And you're like, oh my gosh, I am using it for this. Like, make it be for something fun. And to go to a concert or to go to go anywhere, right? So you create that scene as if you already have it. And that's the image that you're putting in your head, in your mind. You've just been so emotional this week. Oh, well, you know what? It's okay. We're here for you. Okay, and it's okay to feel emotional and let those emotions out. But wait, okay, and you find yourself saying the old story, but I'm like, stop. Yeah, I know, I get it. We get it. We all get that. It's a practice. This is a practice. It doesn't have to be a process. Sometimes I don't know that I like it, but the process is okay too. It's a practice. You're going to practice. Okay. So instead of, if something doesn't feel true, you just know that things are coming from you. So decide to focus on what feels good. What's a better feeling thought? A better feeling thought rather than, I've even done it on, what was I doing? Oh, I know. I bought something from an auction last year. I paid $1,300 for this auction. It was like 2 flights to New York with, also 2 tickets to see Trevor Noah with The Daily Show. And I never used it with COVID and I just didn't go, and then he wasn't doing the show. So what's wrong with me? As I called, I started reading it, and it says expires in 1 year from now. So in my mind, I kept thinking, and I bought this like a year ago, March. I was like, shoot, did I just waste that $1,300 on that stuff and I don't even get it? And then I thought, why am I doing that? But my mind kept wanting to go to, oh my God, I kept wanting to come up with some story, like about, it was really a negative story, or not negative, but it was a story that didn't support me getting my desire in the end. So it was like in that moment, I'm like, yeah, I have to practice this story. It's like, no, I am going to New York. I mean, I don't have the final outcome, but this is just right in the moment, in my present moment, because I'm waiting to hear from someone, but I am going. So I have to decide that I am going. It doesn't matter that it's expired. I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm going to focus on, hey, I am going, right? What do I want? Because if I keep focusing on that story that I'm not going, or that the tickets are expired, truly that will reflect back at me. But I want to go, and I want to get my money's worth, kind of thing. So everything always works out for me. Can I just say that affirmation? You know what? I know everything's going to work out for me. I know better things are to come in my life. And that way it's more general. It's not so specific. If you're more general, it's easier to just decide I'm not focused on that one thing thinking I'm not getting it, but I'm going to be focused on, you know what? I could, like, who knows, somebody can invite me. If that didn't happen for any reason, just from my focus and attention, if that didn't happen, I could just decide better things come in my life. And who knows, someone can invite me to New York and say, hey, I've got a private plane, you want to come with me? I mean, who knows, right? All possibilities exist. Or my friend might say, hey, I got extra tickets, you want to go here? Like a better opportunity. Someone can say, hey, I'm going to Hawaii for a week, you want to come? And it's on me. So do you see how that's more fun to entertain than the story of me not getting what I want? So go general, maybe even just change the subject. Go general about my life. I know my life is, I came here to be abundant, to have a good life, for life to be better, and I'm going to start focusing on things that give me a better feeling inside. Yeah. Okay, so if you focus on, I promise you, you don't have to focus on your SP 100% with your desire. You can focus on you. Okay, the version of you with the SP, with your SP, is a version of you who is in a better feeling place, who isn't feeling so triggered, right? Someone who's like in control of yourself, in control of your life, confident, right? Confident about, you don't have to be confident about everything, but confident like in the relationship. So feeling better, right? Do you imagine yourself being in a relationship feeling like you feel, like anxious and nervous and unsure and doubtful? No. So you have to imagine and embody and embrace that idea of the version of you who's like, I've got this. Life gets better. Good things are coming. Let me focus on good things. I don't even need to focus on SP because they're going to show up as I just spend time deciding to be happy every day. And then you'll feel better. And you will see, you've already been working on how you expect people to show up, right? You've been probably affirming that you're a priority, that they're showing up as someone who is really there for you. Okay, so that ideal version of that person is going to show up. But don't, if you're kind of feeling that way, just like the other comment was, like, let go of the need to make this happen. It's already done. So go enjoy life. So for the next 30 days, just decide every day, I am going to do something that makes me happy. Okay? Maybe today it's just like take a bath and just like really enjoy that. And maybe tomorrow it's like, tonight I went to the movies. I saw Ghostbusters with my kids. Oh my God, it was really good. It was like, I loved it. So I totally enjoyed that movie. I feel like it totally put me in a really feel-good state. So, go to see a movie that's like a comedy or, not some drama, but like something that's going to uplift you, make you laugh, kind of thing. So you can write that out. Just decide every day you're going to do something like that. And then you're going to focus more of your attention on that, just feeling good and doing something that makes you happy. Trying something new. Explain how about revision. I feel like I can't easily lie to my brain that something didn't happen. Okay, you're looking from your old version of you. The old version of you, the old version of me is someone who I didn't know anything about manifesting whatsoever. I didn't believe, I thought, is this a coincidence? So you want to focus on seeing yourself as someone who knows that reality is different. You're looking through the eyes that reality is hard and solid, and that's an old belief. So work on that belief that reality. Find people who manifest. There's a lot of celebrities, hundreds of celebrities who talk about manifesting their life, talk about what vision that they put in and it manifested, right? Machine Gun Kelly at the VMAs when in his interview, he said 5 years ago, I imagined and said that I am going to play at the VMAs and look at me. And he said, and I manifested this. He manifested that. He deliberately focused on that. Okay, this is you practicing and training yourself. So when you're having doubts, then go find evidence of people who manifest, whom Oprah Winfrey, billionaire, who she claims to, like in interviews, she's she decides, I'm such a powerful manifester. So listen to that and start telling yourself, I'm a powerful manifester. I'm going to just so you can look at yourself as someone who's understanding this better. I intend to understand this better. I intend to understand this on a deep level, that I really get everything I want, or that I just understand how this works, and I understand how my mind and reality is different. And I intend for the evidence to just come into my world to make me feel more confident and make me feel faith and trusting in this. Okay, so it's practicing looking at, what are you entertaining in your mind? There's a lot of things you can entertain in your mind about manifesting, and you'll see that there's evidence that supports it everywhere. Okay, so anyway, back to revision. Maybe I went off a little bit in a different direction, but about revision, the reason I did is because you're saying your brain doesn't think. When people heal the inner child in psychology, that's revision. You're going back to heal and comfort that inner child. That's revision. You're just softening and seeing yourself as a child that you're hugging and caring for, right? There's different ways to go into that. That's revision. So revision is just softening up. You don't have to say, I ran a red light yesterday and now I want to revise that didn't happen. And I don't know if I can believe that. Well, are you going to believe that? No, you're going to soften it up and say, you know what, it wasn't that bad. I intend that doesn't happen. You could truly revise that, where it didn't happen, but you have to be at a really understanding that past, present, and future exist only right now. Okay, I see stories of, there was a Mind Valley, if you guys know what Mind Valley. Years ago, I was watching their videos, and one of the speakers was talking about a friend of hers who's a musician who fell off the stage. Now, she was all talking about manifesting and basically revision, right? And she said her friend fell off the stage, broke his leg, and he revised it. The x-ray showed a broken leg. So a few days later, when she saw him, she's like, wait, what's wrong? I thought you broke your leg. It wasn't broken anymore. Okay, most of us, people won't believe this if they don't. The thing is, you have to know that this is possible. So that person healed their leg, a broken leg. So spend more time of believing in miracles, reading stories about miracles, reading stories about mystical experiences, and that may help you. You really just have to prove to yourself that you're the operant power. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Ash, you were emotionally upset and you felt like you couldn't find out why. It's okay. Sometimes if we don't know, if we're spending so much time figuring out why, instead just decide, you know what? I'm going to love myself. I'm going to care for myself. I've been through that, right? So when you're emotionally upset, just, you know what? If you feel like taking a nap today, give yourself that. Give yourself whatever even if you don't know why. If you want to know why, say, I intend to just know why I'm feeling this way. Am I feeling this way because I don't have what I want? Am I feeling this way because how I feel about me or about this world or about how my life is? So, and the answers, you'll start to get more answers. You can say intentions. I intend to feel better. I intend to go to bed tonight and just wake up feeling better. I want to wake up every day feeling better and feeling excited for life. If you say that for the next 30 days, tell me what happens. Because I promise you, you will have a change and a shift in how you feel. Show me, I intend to feel better and I want it to show it to me. I want to experience feeling better. Tell yourself, I'm going to focus on better thoughts. I'm going to focus on things that make me feel good. So you have to remind yourself, and then when you start to say that, you will attract those experiences, or you will basically create those experiences to come in your life because of your focus and attention. Nitty Nads, can you manifest something in the span of like an hour or less? Like manifest, yeah, you can manifest. Listen, you can manifest it right now. So believe that you can do that. It's your believing that that's possible, okay? I have clients that talk to me, and then right after we had our session, they're emailing me like within an hour. I just got a response from my SP. So know that that's possible, and even kind of like entertain that thought in your mind, like it's possible that they could call me right now. It's possible they can text me right now. It's possible that they can call me tonight. That's possible they can call me tomorrow. I know they're thinking about me. I know they're thinking about me right now, and I'm expecting that they're going to call me. Making an expectation, not like a hard expectation, but like kind of like that gentle expectation, like the expectation of the day before you're going to travel. You're like you have this anticipation and expectation of like, oh, I'm expecting that this is going to be exciting, that I'm going to have a good trip. Okay, Miss Ab and 6. Okay, so apart from doing the inner work, what else should we work on to get our SP? Okay, so you're doing the inner work. It's all inner work. All of it's inner work. So it's the inner work of seeing yourself as the person, as the version with your person. So you're not doubting. Okay? So you are secure about it. You're confident about it. Okay? So you're going to be working on how you see yourself, the version of yourself, the version of your person showing up for you. Who are they? They're the person that has these standards way up here. Someone who respects your boundaries. So like affirm that they're in your life that way. That they reflect the standards that you have in your life. Okay? That they treat you as a priority. Okay, so it's that. And then like what is the general narrative? Because let's say you're affirming a person, but let's say they have a different religious background, and so you're affirming for them to be in your life, but then in the back of your head you're thinking, yeah, but I know that their family doesn't approve of me because they're this religion and I'm that religion. Do you see how that story would conflict? That could be, I'm just saying, if you're not getting your manifestation, just start to think of the narrative that you're playing in your head. Do they live across the country or in another state? And you feel like, how is this going to happen? Just decide, I don't know how, but it is going to happen. Okay, so it's the self-concept of the version of you, seeing your person show up, and the narrative. The combination of all those together on the same page. I mean, you don't have to overthink any of that. It's just like, that's more if your SP is not even really showing up. Then you want to kind of entertain the story, the narrative that you've been saying. How can I manifest someone who has no idea I exist and lives far away from me? It's easy. It is actually, you know that they exist, right? So so right now the story and the narrative that you're telling is they have no idea that you exist and that they live far from you. That doesn't support you getting your desire. So you have to change that. You have to say an intention. I intend that they do know who I am. Okay? I intend that we are together. I intend that we are dating. I intend that we're talking and hanging out. I intend that we are in an amazing relationship. Okay, you don't have to worry about those other things. All those circumstances don't matter. Picture and focus more that the two of you are together. And there will be a way. I have done this Somebody didn't even know me. And you could also visualize. So affirming and visualizing, they're really similar. So you can you're actually visualizing when you affirm anyway, because you are thinking of them, right? You'll have an image in your head, in your mind. So this person that didn't even know me at all, and I knew who he was, and I had seen a picture of him, and then I didn't even know that he worked out at the same gym I worked at. He didn't know anyone that I knew. He didn't know one person I knew, but I had visualized, and I was like, yeah, he's pretty cute. I would like to meet him. And I was just kind of affirming, I would like to meet him. I didn't spend a lot of time doing it. And then I noticed in the picture, I'm like, I think that looks like the same gym that I'm at. And maybe it wasn't. Was I creating that, right? But guess what? I saw him at my gym. And I was like, no way. He didn't even live near me. He didn't even, the gym that I went to, I did kind of not commute to, but it was in a different location. So, I knew it was at that gym, but you can still live in different areas. So anyway, that's how I met him at the gym. I just focused my attention on that person being in my life. Okay, so one time I manifested Rod Stewart. I didn't know how to manifest at the time, but I was watching this video of him. When I was a kid, I liked some of his songs, whatever. I remember singing them when I was a little kid, and I was like, oh my God. He cracked me up in the car karaoke. So I had seen that, and I probably watched it so many times because I was like, oh my God, I love that song, and I replayed it. And less than a week later, I was at the park with my kids, and in the morning, it was 9 or 10 in the morning, in the big park in Chicago, and I look over and I'm like, Rod Stewart, that's him? He was at the park with his son. I ended up double checking to confirm it later, because it's not that I talked to him, but I had focused on him so much. Just because, not for any reason other than I just was laughing and so entertained and engaged, listening to his song and singing it, and just kind of having memories. And then boom, he was there at the park, 8 feet from me, while kids are playing around. So anyway, and he had a bodyguard and some other people too, which I realized as. So anyway, the point is, if I would have thought, first of all, I didn't know about manifesting at the time. But if I would have been manifesting that to happen and focusing on how am I going to meet him ever? How am I ever going to see him right in the same place? I wouldn't think that's possible. It turns out he had a concert in Chicago. So, and I happened to be at the right place at the right time. And I had also been focusing my attention on him in such a positive emotion coming from me. So you can manifest anyone from anywhere to be in your presence, okay? Now, if I were deliberately manifesting at the time, I probably would have, if I had known, I would have affirmed that we are talking, that we are talking and laughing and having a conversation, and he's enjoying my company. Not worried about if he'll let me talk to him, but thinking he enjoys talking to me. Do you see? It's you have to look from your perspective of reality, how people are showing up and coming and who they are with you. Don't look at them, at anyone else as on a pedestal, because we're all equal. Okay, anyway, so I hope that was an interesting story to hear. Gigi, I'm your confirmation. I am your confirmation, okay? It's done. It's truly you convincing yourself. So just decide, it's done. It's done. It's done right now. Don't think this is a process. It's happening. It's happening tonight. You don't have to be at a certain place with your manifesting and understanding. You can manifest them right now. And you can manifest that you work it out, work on whatever you think you may need to work on. You don't have to work on anything. You can manifest them into your life right now and make it get better and better and better. And you're both growing and evolving. knitting ends. Okay, when affirming, is it required to always feel what you're affirming, or is there power in just saying? There is power in just saying. And I know I just brought up the feeling and emotion because I have experienced myself that when I did have a heightened emotion with it, things really manifested pretty easily. So, and maybe I also didn't have resistance, but there is power in just saying, because my affirmations absolutely manifested, and I surely didn't have feelings. Like I didn't feel it, right? I didn't spend time trying to feel it. I was just affirming it and manifested. I've seen where my thoughts or images that I had just manifested. Okay, and I didn't have any feeling. You're going to create actually, when we have a thought, the thoughts create feelings. So, the more you think a good thought, you're going to have a good feeling, right? If I said a really sad story, you're going to feel, you would have a feeling attached to that sad story. But if I tell a really great story, you're also going to have, you're going to have a feeling attached to that. Okay. Oh, it sounds like things just show up quickly for you. Any tips on how to... Okay, so for me, CCM, about 2 years ago, I started affirming. It didn't happen overnight. I started affirming that I manifest instantly. So there are some people out there who say, oh, this is a process and you can't do it instantly, or you can, but you need to go through the process. So that's just a belief. So I was like, that doesn't resonate with me, because I see reality that I can get things instantly, and that's okay. And that I still am growing and evolving, and I can still, so I practiced over 2 years ago, starting to say, I manifest things instantly. I'm really powerful at this. I'm really good at this. Things just keep coming quickly. Okay. It didn't happen right away, but I created that belief within me. I created that feeling that things, then all of a sudden I got something manifesting instantly. I was like, see, it happened. And then that confirmed it. And that made me feel like more sure inside, right? That feeling of like, oh, this feels good. And it was instant. And that, I like that, right? So then because I had that, because it reflected back to me, and I reacted in that positive way to getting that, it brought more things. Okay. I'm not saying I'm getting there, right? It's not like everything's just instant, but I'm getting there. I'm practicing that. I'm practicing recognizing things. So start saying that now. Start affirming, I'm really good at this. I am a powerful manifester. I am getting better at this. I am more focused. I'm determined. I get what I want. I get everything I want. I manifest instantly. I manifest effortlessly. I just flow through life, and everything just shows up for me. So that would be a little rampage, you can say. It was probably a year before I really started recognizing like big changes. So all of you can start affirming that now, and it can happen instantly. It doesn't mean it's going to be a year. It can happen instantly for you, or within weeks and months. And when people ask you about the old story, okay, what's the old? If it's an old story with anything, but I'm going to give an example with a specific person, because a lot of you are asking about that. If your friends ask, hey, what's going on with so and so, and then you could just say, you know what? I just know everything's going to work out for me. I'm not really worried about it anymore. Don't go into details with your friends. I mean, are they into manifesting? You could, if they are, then say, I'm manifesting my SP, but you can create that your friends are also into this and they find it intriguing and they're really interested. And then you can create a friend where you're like bouncing off ideas with each other and affirming with each other and telling the story as if, like a manifesting buddy. So that's what you can do. You change the subject. You just say, you know what, everything's working out in my life, and I just decided that everything's going to be okay. So, hey, by the way, what's going on with you and this? And you change the subject. Because you don't want to spend time talking about the old story. You don't want to do that. I know that from experience. Believe me, when I was a person who had to call like 10 different people, tell a story over. Oh my God. So that's going to be a practice. Maybe you even want to practice that before you're going out with people. So in that moment, you don't feel like you start to tell it and then you get home and you're like, why did I tell the story again? And that whole hashing it out, and people might reflect to you that they don't, like in my reality, people were reflecting back to me that they didn't like him and they wouldn't forgive him, kind of thing. So I had to work on that in my mind, that people always support my decisions, and everyone forgive, like people support me and they forgive others. So you saw this live for a reason. You're meant to be here. Absolutely. You're absolutely meant to be here. So what if something happened like DV? What's DV? Is that like driving while intoxicated? And police are involved in stuff and so much has happened. Okay. So when there's like that kind of heightened situation, like heightened emotion because of that situation, so just in your mind, instead of thinking all the worst case scenarios and this is horrible and this and this and this is how bad it is, start focusing more on, you know what, I know things are going to work out. It's going to be best case scenario for me. Okay, so you maybe go a little bit general with the story, that you just believe that everything's going to work out for you. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, you can deliberately get more deliberate about how you want it to end up. Charges are dropped. I don't know how, but the charges were just dropped. Like Neville Goddard was in the military and they told him he wasn't going to be dismissed. He manifested. So what he did was, while he was in his like barracks in the army across the country, he would visualize. He had asked to be released. Is it like, I can't think of the term right now, it's getting late, but like not dismissed or maybe released or anyway, so you know what I mean. They said no, right? His general said no. Then he went back, and when he went to bed, instead of thinking he was in a bunk with other people in the military, he visualized that he was in New York, in bed, like his wife there. He imagined being in bed. So like he was laying in his barrack bed, but he imagined he was right now laying in his New York bed, that he was in New York. And he could picture, like, what does that feel like to be in New York? And he imagined that he got out of bed to look out the window, and what is that view, right? Because it's like bringing those senses in and really imprinting that idea on your mind of that reality. And guess what? Even though they told him he wouldn't be honorably dismissed, it's something like that, right? Like honorably dismissed from the military. They told him that after he imagined it. I want to say it was like 9 days later, they asked to speak with him. The general asked to speak with him and said, you know what, we're going to give you honorable dismissal. And he went home to New York. Exactly. Discharge. That's the word. I had to go down to look for it. Thank you, everybody. So I was working on a photographic memory, but I couldn't remember that. So he was honorably discharged from the military and went back home to his wife just like he had imagined. So even though the one person told him no, it was 9 days later. He did imagine every night for 9 days, and then they gave him whatever money he needed to take the flight home, and he went back home to New York. Okay, so you have to look at, no matter what the story is, it's the same thing, whether it's an SP situation with the police, you focus on what you want, okay? And sometimes if the story is a little more believable, it feels a little more normal and natural. It feels a little bit easier for that to manifest. Like, not that you're revising it to say it never happened, because that might be, I don't want to give any limiting beliefs, but I don't know how much you would believe that, right? So find stories where people's cases were dismissed and the police didn't show up and there wasn't really evidence, or the evidence, whatever, it's not there. okay? Because that kind of stuff does happen. Evidence is lost or whatever. It's all going to work out. So focus more on the story that it's all going to work out. Oh, Ash, okay, you had a situation where you went to work out and he instantly replied. Okay, so also when you're having those moments of like you're just feeling like you're not getting your manifestation, go back and remind yourself, hey, I already proved to myself, like I got an instant reply. Okay, you're probably saying, do you think small tests arise as you manifest there's nobody testing you, okay? People in mainstream manifesting bring that up about like you're being tested, but you are the universe. So if you believe, like let's say you learn that and you feel that, then you're going to experience this is a test. It's not a bad, okay, so from that perspective, as someone who just mainstream knows manifesting and the idea of law of attraction, is it a negative thing? It's not a negative thing. They're creating a story like, hey, this happened because it's a small test and I'm becoming more powerful and I'm becoming better at this and I'm working on my self-love and self-improvement. So that story of it being a small test can be empowering for someone that just knows kind of that surface level manifesting. So it's not necessarily a negative thing, but someone you're creating that because you believe that. Okay, is that clear how that you decide? I know that there's nobody out there testing me. I have the operant power. Operant power means I have complete ability, creative ability to create anything I want. There's nobody testing me. Oh, there will be people that believe that and they have good circumstances. It's just not my belief. I mean, I know that's not really the case because I keep proving it to myself over and over, and I just know that. Okay, so you're saying you feel like little things are happening to test my past triggers. All right, so because you feel that, this is your thoughts creating. Your thoughts are creating a reality where you think, oh, that thing happened because it's testing my past trigger. Okay, you might have heard that belief from, you just have that belief from wherever you heard it. Maybe from like therapy kind of things. People who talk about psychology, about those past triggers. You can change that. You can just say, they're not. I mean, if that resonates with you and that helps you get beyond it, that's okay. But you're the operant power. So whatever story and narrative you're creating, that's what you're experiencing. So those little things are happening because you noticed it and reacted to it. So don't bring up my perception, my point of view would be like, don't worry about your past triggers. They're in the past. Just decide, hey, little things happen. That means I need to focus and tweak my mental thought process, right? My mindset. I need to focus on the things that I want. The things that I want will come into my life the more I focus on the things that I want. If I keep focusing on the little things happening to test my past triggers, then have this perpetual cycle of that being in my reality. You change it by deciding, you know what? I'm going to focus on only good things are happening. Better things are happening to me. What if you sometimes have doubts about the SP? That's okay. So what you do is you're going to tell yourself, I'm having a doubt. Is this doubt, like, what is this doubt about? So what is the doubt? Whatever the doubt is, if you're like, I'm just not sure, like, are they going to come back? If that's the doubt, you catch that and say, I'm the operant power, so I create what I want. They are coming back. I decide that they're coming back. I decide that they're with me. I decide they are a better version, that they are here with me, the ideal person that I want to be with, who treats me with high standards, with respect, as a priority. And that's okay. And so another thing is you can tell yourself, I have doubts, and that's okay because I'm still getting my manifestation. Even when I have a doubt, I'm still going to get it. I mean, I don't always believe everything 100%, and I'll have a doubt here and there, and I'll still get it. So it's like creating that belief around your reality. Okay, but in the meantime, still practice changing it. Let's see. In my opinion, focusing on the things you want just continues to bring what you want and even better into your life. Okay, I'll do one more, and then I think I need to and then I'm gonna get going. Okay, so Liz had, what can I do to manifest for my SP to break no contact and ask to catch up? Okay, first of all, when you focus that there's no contact, okay, I want them to break no contact. I want them to break no contact. Try to change that a little bit to, well, it's the story, the narrative you tell yourself. So my SP is asking to catch up with me. They're thinking about me. They're thinking how wonderful and amazing I am. They're thinking how much they want to be in a relationship with me. So you have to create that story. And if that doesn't feel natural for you to say that, then you practice saying that. It's just like an actor who practices their part. The first time that they memorize their lines and they go out there to say them, did it come so fluidly where we feel like that was the best acting? Probably not. They practice that. So you practice it. If they just got out there and without really practicing, it wouldn't be the same delivery. So you practice it. The more you practice it, it's going to feel normal and natural that they are contacting you. They want to catch up with me. Tell yourself the story that you want to experience. And that story is, we're going out on dates and we are already caught up. And they love spending time with me because I'm incredible. And I'm already whole and perfect as I am. I'm a priority. I expect to be appreciated. I expect to be respected. Spend time entertaining that story in your mind. The story of what you want. And don't worry, and just know that the 3D reality, don't think about it as you're breaking no contact. Focus on it's already done. And you're creating. You are creating. You're a creator. So you're creating, or you're selecting that reality that already exists. All right, you guys, I am gonna go. Love you all. I know you know what, everyone I can see, especially people who I see consistently, I see your questions, they seem to resonate more with like, you know this, okay? You know this, I see each other, you responding to each other to help each other. You've got this. Just decide tonight you're going to bed. You're gonna wake up at where you have your desire. You're gonna go to bed and everything is just unfolding, okay? So focus on that story before you go to bed. You don't have to even deliberately say affirmations. Just decide, I'm going to bed and I'm going to wake up. Everything's unfolding and I might get my desire tomorrow, or it might be tomorrow afternoon, or it could be while I'm sleeping. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Love you. Bye.